Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Chris Capper. We're at Transwest Truck Trailer RV, and I have a brand new 2026 Newmar London Aire 4551. This is an absolutely luxurious coach inside and out. And what it is powered by is a Cummins ISX 15-liter, 605 horsepower with 1,950 foot-pounds of torque. You can tow 20,000 pounds behind this bad baby. And what makes it drive so nice is, besides having that massive engine in there, this is the first coach in the Newmar luxury line that has that 605. So you'll be able to get your stacker trailer, whatever it is, wherever you need to go with something like this. We're about 45 feet long, and we've got all the storage capabilities that you could ask for. So let's just kind of look at the design graphics on this. This is going to be a BASF Masterpiece paint finish. I've shown 2004, 2008 Newmar coaches, and the paint still looks absolutely amazing. And when you're at the Dutch Star level, they're going to get you that nice double cut and buff right there with their professionals in there. This is all done by hand. They're not using robots. It's actually employed good Americans doing an American product right here. Full flush mount slides. But back to that, this is a Seaford graphics on the London Aire diesel pusher. So inside we're going to have the Alden decor and the chestnut glazed maple hardwood with a suede finish. So back to what we've got a 20,000 pound axle here. I've got another 20,000 pound axle in the rear, and then a 14,000 pound axle on that tag. Now this is on the Freightliner custom chassis. So what that means is I'm gonna have the V-Ride system in the back. I'm gonna have that Ultra Steer tag. It's also gonna have brake sync. The Drive Tech, which is going to have this really beautiful OptiView digital dash, 12 inches. They've made that bigger. The Road Watch is going to have automatic transfer control, lane departure assist, collision mitigation, forward warning and active braking, electronic stability control, roll stability support, and automatic adaptive cruise control, and you can set your distances. So really an amazing coach. Now, one of the things that makes things ride so well on the Newmars is they're going to use the biggest, baddest tires that you can get on this coach right here. So I've got the Michelin XZA. These are 365/70, 22.5-inch rims, and that's going to be around that beautiful Alcoa aluminum rim. Very easy to keep that clean. Now, what makes these so amazing is that these are 20 ply. You're going to get a really great ride. Now, if you guys know diesel pushers, you're going to have that air ride suspension because it's got those nice airbags, and there's a leveling system in there. You can adjust your ride height for high or low. It's really a cool system. Now, it's also going to make it better is that we have the exclusive to Newmar since 2007, the Comfort Drive. You can set that from 1 to 10 to give you more comfort in your driving. And my people that have driven this and have driven other bands have, sorry, my wife's calling me. People that have driven this and driven other brands have found that they can drive for several hours longer on this because that comfort steer and the Star Foundation and everything that Newmar puts together to make this just a more comfortable, less exhaustive drive. So instead of driving maybe 4 hours and being exhausted, maybe you can do 6 hours and still not be exhausted. So really cool. Another thing on this is going to have that IFS, so independent front suspension. So it's going to eliminate that bump steer. If you're in Colorado, you know what I'm talking about. You hit those big holes in the road and it's going to pull that steering wheel over. You ain't got to worry about it with this right here. So dual fuel diesels, and this is going to have a protective steel piece right behind this, so that way if that hose going into that 150-gallon diesel tank, if you were to hit some road debris, then it's not going to break that hose. So again, one of the things that Newmar does is they've been doing this since 1968. My God, that's a few years older than me. They know how to make coaches. Objectively, they're making the best coach in their price point. Now, what's really neat about this, I don't want to overlook this. This is a 33-inch MORryde door. These are heavy duty. MORryde is a best-in-class manufacturer, United States, and they're just making these really great doors, super heavy duty, a lot easier than what we had. 33 inches, you get more than you get on the Mountain Aire and anything underneath that. Now, inside this, I've got this dual zone cooler right here. So I can set either side, freezer, refrigerator. I can go 0 or negative degree temperatures on this, or up to like 50 to 60 degrees. So you can keep your beer or your drinks on one side, your frozen meats or whatever you need, your extra ice for your tailgating parties in there. I can charge this on my 12 volt and 110. So depending on if I've got the inverter on or not, you can do it either way. So pretty cool, and it's got this really nice slide mechanism to bring that out nice and far. Why this goes out so far is when this is open all the way, I can still open this and get to my goodies while I'm entertaining everybody. Now, another cool thing that they did, and you're gonna see this on the other compartments, is they also added an additional shelf right here. Because you know what? We have the space, why not give you some additional storage capabilities in there? So, pretty cool. So I'm going to open both of these right here to get you, excuse me, get you guys looking at that star foundation. So if you want to come over here, Jody, and I'll just kind of mention this, you can see right back there my chassis rails, and heavy duty chassis rails on this, but this is going to be my star foundation, and I've got this tubular steel right here coming all the way to the edge, coming all the way down, and then have these truss systems bringing that down. Now what that does for you ultimately is it lowers that lowers your center point of gravity, so it's going to make it a safer vehicle to drive. It's also going to give it more rigidity when you're going up those hills, when you're doing those switchbacks. It's going to make it a much better coach, but the key for that is that my structural support goes all the way to the edges from one side to the other. I've got beautiful, gorgeous porcelain tile in there. You got to have something strong to support that. There are other brands that don't have that same philosophy. They'll give you a little bit more space, I'll guarantee you that. But what they don't give you is that longevity of your investment right here. And I know this is a depreciating asset, but the reality is that you want to make sure this is going to last you throughout your retirement, or at least for the next 10, 20 years. These are generational style coaches. Now, I've got a 2/3 pull out right here, and then I have a complete electric pass through right here. So I can just pop that little button, and that easy glide is going to come right at me. And that's going to just pull that so I can get under that. Even with my slide out, I can still access pretty far back there. But when my slide's in, I can go back about 2/3 of the way, or 60% of the way. So now on the other one right next to that, that's just going to be a manual one. And that's going to go about 60%, 70% back there. On the other side of that's going to be my hydronic heating system, which I'll show you a little bit more of that when we get in. So before I open the next one, I just want to kind of pan up right here. You're going to see we've got that nice kitchen window. I've got the awnings right here. Man, I don't want to forget about these awnings. I have the Girard Nova 2 awnings right above me. And you can see how these come out and arc down. Now, I don't know if you are watching me when I was doing a video on a Mountain Aire back in July of last year, but I had about a 25 to 35 mile an hour wind gust, slammed, coming right off the mountain, slammed against the coach, popped those straight up in the air, even went over, but guess what? They went back in, and there was no issues with them. These are engineered to last you for a long time, and they're not using that cheap vinyl stuff that you'll see other brands using. That is going to be a canvas material that's sewn, and the seams are going in the direction of the water flow. And then I have a patio awning, a door awning right above there, and I also have window awnings. So I have a window awning here, which looks really cool, but I also got 2 on the other side. And that just kind of takes that early morning, late evening sun coming out there for you. And so you'll notice that every single one of these windows is a radius double paned window. Every single window on a Newmar is actually sealed into the coach itself. So they have a C-channel construction. This is not a laminated sidewall. It cannot delaminate on these sidewalls. It's not possible. They have, each window is framed, and then they also, on those radiuses there, those radial edges, they put a piece of metal in there that's welded in, and then some Sikaflex or some attachment mechanism to get those sealed into that completely, so every portion of that window is completely sealed into that. So it's going to just last you for a much longer time than what some other people are doing. Now if I open this up, you're going to see a theme. So I've got the Samsung 4K ultra high definition smart TV here. So what the smart TV is doing, I can do streaming or whatever. I have Starlink on this coach, which is really cool, so I could actually stream directly from that just about anywhere in North America. I have a nice Bose soundbar right there, and then I also have right up here 2 110s, a USB-A and a USB-C. I can Bluetooth my phone into the soundbar and just listen to my Bluetooth, brother. And I can have it charging while I'm doing it, so pretty cool. And then I have a nice metal slam latch right there, so that just slams shut. Now for that other one, did I open this one? I think I did. So I have another one right here, another storage compartment. And you'll see on this, I've got my road vac, my inner vac. I can all actually hook up my vacuum system, and you'll see the tools right there. So I can clean any of my compartments underneath here, but I can also clean anything on the inside. I plug into that mid bath from the rear to the front. So really great system right here, tried and true. I've got some extra air lines that you can hook up to the front, and then some extra tile back there. And one of the things I love to see on when I take some of these in used, I see that these are never used. So if I get a 2016 or later that's got that big HWH slide, this is what you use in case there's a problem trying to get that back in. So I have never seen one of these opened, because Newmar just uses the best materials, best manufacturing processes. HWH is, man, we had those in our 1986 Georgie Boy Encounter. They had HWH, and that still worked in 2018. So coming back here, this is kind of new as of last year. Instead of having a bunch of wires throughout the coach, and you got to go here or there to figure out what's going on, they've just made one really great panel right here. So if you can just see light and you're not colorblind too bad, you got red, if that turns, if it's green, if that turns red, you know there's a problem. This is easily removable. You just pop these little pieces off right here, and you can see what's going on. So it makes it easy for you to figure out what's going on if there's a problem. Everything is nicely labeled, and then it also makes it easier for our techs to get in there, so it lowers your total cost of ownership. Right here, you're gonna notice, this is a blind spot monitor. I have 6 of them, 3 on each side. It's gonna just make things a little bit safer for you and your family when you're driving. I have the docking lights on. Now, these tires are 315 by 80s instead of 365 by 70s. So this is gonna be my Ultra Steer right there. And so that's gonna be a 20,000 pound axle and a 14,000 pound axle. All of these are going to be it's going to be Bendix anti-lock braking, disc braking system. So the problem is when you're coming down the mountains, if you got the drum brakes, and if you don't know how to drive properly, which I hope you do, take a course if you don't, or ask me. But if you're coming down there on those drum brakes, you'll see those runaway truck ramps. What happens is, as those heat up, the metal expands, and then it literally can't hit, the shoe can't hit, the drum can't hit the exterior piece, so you don't have brakes. So with having the anti-lock brake system that's disc brakes, it's much safer for you and your family. Here's going to be my DEF system. So I got my diesel exhaust fluid right here, 15 gallons. That's going to last you guys a long time. So I have a dual fuel. You'll see that on the other side. Right above me is an egress door, so no way to get in or out from here, but if you open it from the inside, there's a telescoping ladder that comes out and a false panel, but what you're going to use this for, guys, is you're going to use this to give your partner all the stuff in the rear of the coach, your towels, your soaps, your all that stuff. So it's a lot easier to load it right from here. Say, hey baby, there you go. Now this right here is going to be where my two 1950 cca cold cranking amp batteries are right here, and then I do have a nice on-off switch. So if I'm putting this in storage or I just don't need that, I can actually just pop that in the off switch. Got a diag port right here, and then right under there you can kind of see that's going to be my rock guard mud flap. So we got a nice chrome tip right there. I've got my Voyager camera, so you can actually hook two cameras. So you know, we're Transwest truck trailer RV. The trailer part of that's going to be horse trailers. We are really dedicated to our horsing community around here, the farmers, the cowboys, cowgirls. So if you do have a horse trailer, I can get you one of my people, but you can actually have a camera inside your horse trailer, seeing how your pets are doing, or your horses are doing back there, and you can also see beyond that. Now maybe you just have a stackable trailer, something else, you can have one inside and one outside, and that's integrated right into that dash system or that Excite system right here. 20,000 pound tow capacity on that. You can put 2,000 pounds vertical on that. 7-way right here, and then that's where my brake sync is there. So this is already set up to get you all you got to do is get one of our parts professionals, put the Air Force One in, and you're good to go, along with your other connections. So before I open this, let's just look at how awesome this coach is. Got that nice rear fin that brings that air straight down. It's got that great package on that, which is the Seaford graphics. And then I've got the extra the high def camera right there. I had that pre-open to make it a little easier. So I got a little light right there. Now everything here is going to be super easy to access. It's going to be my Oasis system, my engine, oil, dipstick, transmission. People ask, like, what's this for? So if you're driving around in the desert, or maybe you went to Burning Man or something crazy like that, and this is getting a lot of dust in there, you want to get that out, but you can actually just push that reset to see where you're at with that right there. So again, look at that bad mamma jamma 15-liter Cummins ISX engine on that, 605 horsepower. So beautiful, beautiful engine, made in America, baby. So part of the Freightliner custom chassis, they are with that Daimler heritage, so they have the capability. These cost a little bit less than those Spartans. Spartans is great, man. It's like Ford and Chevy. Everybody's got their favorite. So, but they do have that Daimler heritage, so that brings the total cost down. You have a massively large, did I write it down? Probably not. A huge side radiator right there. Here's my dual fuel for my diesel exhaust fluid. And coming over here, you got a little place to put a stinky slinky. Now, you might say, why do I need a stinky slinky when I got the best in class Thetford Sanacon master system right there? Well, because if something were to happen and you want to be prepared for everything, then you just bring an extra one, because you also have your gravity drain right there, and you could have that coming through there. Now that is the actual macerator system. Just think of that as a blender. It's going to blend up all that solid waste, turn it into a nice slushy, and you can actually take that uphill or downhill up to 200 feet. Winterize on that, and then all you got to do is hook that up, and it's very simple to accomplish. So right here is going to be my water filter. So there's the filter that goes inside that, and then I have a black and a gray tank. Now we have a 105 gallon freshwater tank. I have an 80 gallon gray and a 60 gallon black. So sometimes, like we all know, the black tank can get a little stinky, but so can the gray. So I always recommend using Unique. We sell that in our parts store. Best out there from what the research I've done. Put some of that in there, but you can also just spray that out just like you would. There's a sprinkler in both tanks. You just hook the hose up to it, spray it out, rinse it out, you're good to go. Now, all my low point drains and all that's right here, but I can also access my new system here. So I can look at my tank levels right here. I can look at my power, see what's going on. If I need to start that generator, I can do it right there. And then I can also hit my exterior lights on here as well. Right above here is a nice little stainless steel covering on my paper towel roll holder. And I have a nice stainless steel hot and cold shower right here. My water hose is on a power cord reel. So that's going to be easy to get in and out. You don't have to get your hands too dirty, taking care of all of that. So it's a really great system here. And I think you'd expect that, right? Because you're in a nice luxury coach. Let's just take a step back and just kind of look at these beautiful awnings right here. So I've got a nice, big, beautiful awning right there with that massive window there in your dinette. And then you got your bedroom one right there. So doesn't this coach look beautiful? So here I'm going to have a 50-foot, 50-amp power cord reel. So easy to bring that in. You don't have to get your hands too dirty bringing that in, because you just push a button. Surge protector built into my automatic transfer switch. And lo and behold, I've got a 30-amp connection. So if you want to connect to your stackable trailer, to your horse trailer, whatever, you got 30 amps to do it right there, baby. Now, if y'all have watched my videos, you know how in love I am with these ITR Oasis Chinook systems. So what this is a 50,000 BTU hydronic heater and water heater. So it's going to heat your air and it's going to heat your water. It's going to give you that near instant on, and you using the Aquamizer, if you're not plugged in, it is pretty much instant on once that's cycled through. Now what's really good about this is that this is a low pressure system. It has a stainless steel tank, and the competitor, which is going to be AquaHot's, going to have a steel tank. So it's going to just collect less carbon buildup on that. It's a bigger tank than what the AquaHot has. It's got 2 electrical elements, which I think 450D and above on the AquaHot also have that, but these are, I believe they're like 40 to 60% more. So you're just going to get more heat out of that. Now, what makes this so good and why Newmar switched to it like 25 plus years ago is because it is a low pressure system versus a high pressure system on the AquaHot and other brands. Now, what that means to you is that it's going to use less fuel, it's going to be quieter, it's going to put out less exhaust, and it's going to be more efficient. Additionally, a lot of big million-dollar yachts are in the Gulf or in the Atlantic or Pacific are using this brand to heat their yachts and their motor boats. Why do they want this one over a high-pressure system? Because these are easier to maintain. While you still have to do maintenance, there's less maintenance to do, and it's a lot easier to accomplish. Now, if we just back up for a second, you'll see I've got my axle right there and I've got my axle right here. Everything between these 2 axles, which I think is 292-inch wheelbase, all that is going to be heated when that furnace is on. It's going to keep everything in there at appropriate temperatures for you when you're in that cold environment. So I'm going to open these together at the same time so you can see that I have this right here on both sides. So the 2 pass-throughs, and I want to correct myself earlier, I said that wasn't a pass-through, it is a pass-through. It's the other one that wasn't a full pass-through. So we got 2 pass-throughs. One is automatic or motorized, the other one is manual. Now you'll notice you get a little bit more height clearance on the manual one. So just gives you a little bit more room to get your stuff where you need to go. And you'll notice that right above here, all of these slides are going to be flush mount slides. Newmar invented the slide in 1989. They make the best slide. Forgot to show you, I had my MPPT controller, and then here I have a battery of 8 AGM batteries. So some of you guys are like, hey, I don't want to spend that extra 30 grand on that big lithium upgrade. Well, guess what? We got this one here, so you're not spending that money on that. You actually are going to get more amp hours on this than you are going to get on that lithium system. There are some advantages certainly to the Lithionics battery system, but this is that tried and true technology that a lot of you guys are used to, so you've got it there. And then if you did want to upgrade to that, not a big deal. We could do it for you here, or what I would do is just let these cycle through, then do that upgrade. All right, and you'll notice that also is on a nice pull-out tray, so you can maintain those as necessary, but those are something that you don't actually need to worry about putting water or anything like that in, because they are AGM. Dual fuel on that. Now I do have that generator running, and this right here, you're going to notice that that's my exhaust for the generator. I've got my fuse panel right here. If one of those are glowing red, the little LEDs by it, guess what? There's a problem. So I got some spare fuses right here, and then this generator slide is on that HWH hydraulic system. Now what's really neat about this is that Newmar's included this, and if you look right here, I have a hot water line to generator. So with that Oasis system on, I can actually hook a hose up to that, run that hose through here, underneath this, close this back up, and then I can actually clean those bugs off of that big, beautiful windshield right there. So I can clean it off, and guess what? When you're in the southeast, and man, here Minnesota's got some bad flies, we get these love bugs down there in Tampa, Florida, and Georgia, and they're really hard to get off. That hot water sprays them off. A little bit of love with this, and you're good to go. Now, a couple other things. I have the city horns right here, but I have the big old air horns right here. So, got my windshield wiper stuff right there, my fuel oil filter right there for my 12,500 Cummins owning quiet diesel generator. So that's running right now. Easy to see my levels here. I can top them off right here. Easy to open that if you got to maintain it. It's less expensive for us to work on something like that because everything's easier to access, and having 12,500 watts of power, it's going to give you the power that you need to run a rig like this. Dash AC over there. I've got my hydraulics over there. That's all not that interesting, but if you, Jody, you want to check that out on the left side while I'm closing it, on that far left you'll see the hydraulic system, and that's what's powering everything. Now what's neat is back in the day you used to have to come outside and reset that hydraulic system. You don't have to do that anymore, and I'll show you inside where that is. So let me just pop this back where it goes. Shut this bad boy. These are all going to be chrome mirrors, heated, and I have my side view cameras. This beautiful front grille, these lights look amazing. I've got the fog lights, I've got the intelligent high beams. So when your high beams, if you have the fog lights and the intelligent high beams on, and you have a car come in, it's just gonna have the fog lights on. As soon as that car's going and there's nobody that you're gonna blind, it's actually gonna turn the fog lights off and turn those high beams on for you. So it's a really smart system, and you'll notice this has that nice bus front right here, which hides those windshield wipers. Now this is going to be new. This is going to be my rain sensor, so you can set that at multiple levels on this, but man, I just keep that at a more minimum level. As soon as it starts raining, you don't got to figure out where your wipers are. It'll actually just come on, clean it up for you. It's going to be my mobile eye. It's going to help me with my lane tracking assist and all that. And then right here is going to be that drive tech that we talked about. That's going to have that collision mitigation. So I will say, if you were ever to get into a fender bender here, just make sure they're putting a London Aire version, because that's keyed for this actual chassis. So we wouldn't make that mistake here at Transwest, but maybe you're not near Transwest. Now if you look too, I've got a nice diamond shield paint protective film on there. This is done by hand. I've seen the people that do it. I don't know how they do it, because to me it's magic, but when I try to put something on, it just gets all crinkled up. They get that fine line and so perfect. And if you go to one of the country club rallies, especially the international one that they do once a year, they have a diamond shield guy there who will come up and do little repairs on these. So it's a really cool system. Little flagpole bracket so you can show your patriotism to your country. You can show how much you love your favorite team. So coming back here, I got a little bit more paint protection film right here for keys, and then this is gonna have my keyless entry. So I can go ahead and program this up, and that will go ahead and let me leave the keys in there, and that way I can go out hiking, whitewater, kayak, and whatever it is I wanna do. Just hold that down, it'll lock that, and if I keep it held down, it'll lock all my luggage compartment doors. Really cool system. When you get some guests over here, hit that doorbell, they'll let you know they're there. So this is also on that HWH hydraulic system. It has a sensor in there, so if you were to come down and there's a little kid there, or maybe more likely a rock or a curb, and if it touches it, it's gonna stop. So now coming in here, obviously I have a nice wide door, nice screen, and then here you'll see I've got these nice lit steps and then a step cover that comes up. So that way, when you're the co-pilot and you're sitting there, you don't have to worry about if you had to get up for something that there's a bunch of steps to fall down. Or maybe you're bringing your dog with you and your dog just wants to sit there right with you. So lots of cool options. Nice handrail right here to get in. We also have a handrail right there. So coming on in, I'm going to show you a couple things here which are pretty cool before we get all the way in. So this can be my battery disconnect, and I can also lock and unlock all my cargo bay doors. Now for that step system, you can actually do a manual override by holding that. So that's something I learned recently by watching the Newmar full walkthrough video. So I want to thank Newmar for their dedication to teaching the customers how to do all these cool things. Now I'm going to do a quick walkthrough, just walking back and forth, just so you can see how easy it is to walk through this coach. So I can walk all the way back here. I can get some food out of here. I can get some food out of here. If I need to go to the bathroom, guess what? I got this nice split hinge here. I can go to the bathroom. If I need to wash my hands in there or here, I can do it. I could cook with these shut. I can microwave, grill, that's got a grill in there, so I can really do anything I want. And if I'm at a place that I can't open my slides, I'm stuck at a Walmart or somewhere that I can't get to the campsite, I can actually sleep on the bed back there without putting that slide out. So it's a really cool system. Now I'm going to come over here just past you and open these two hydraulic slides on the front. And because they're hydraulic, I can do them both at the same time, no issues. Now what you're looking at is this beautiful villa furniture using imported Italian leather. Yes, you heard me right. This ain't that ultra leather that you might have a problem with in 5 to 7 years. This is actually imported Italian leather, guys. And I mentioned it outside. This is going to be the Alden decor. It's a really nice system. And what do you notice? Look at this floor. It's super shiny, and there's no carpet on this, guys. So easy to keep this clean, easy to sweep it when you need it, and it just looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous, just like you guys, right? So I'm gonna pop this out. Now, this is the only electric slide that we have, and this is based on that original patent that Newmar came up with in 1988 or 89 when they filed that patent. It's a very simple cogwheel design that the little spikes on the cogwheel, the cogs, go into a tubular piece of steel. For every single rotation of that wheel, that's going to go in or out 12 inches. It is a very simple design, and that's why you have so little problems with a Newmar slide. So now y'all know I like to start at the back. We talked about this. And it's going to be your emergency egress door. Now I do have the day shades down, makes it a little easier to film inside. but you just pop that open and there's a telescoping chrome ladder in there. Now before you go to drive, you want to shut that, both sides of that, and you see these nice beautiful valances. You're going to be using that nice maple hardwood that matches everything else. And then you'll see how this goes up. It has these beautiful cathedral ceilings. So everywhere in the coach, not in the bathroom, you got an 83 inches in interior height. We're on a slide. These slides are super large, but I get even more height there on the centerpiece. Now, porcelain toilet. These are going to be macerator toilets. And then look at this. I've got hanging space here, hanging space here. Let me open this. This hanging space from there goes all the way over here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves, another place to put stuff down there. But man, if you're just gonna, if you're a ballroom dancer, you're gonna bring all those dresses with you and those tuxes with you, you can actually take those out and just use the rest of that. For all your shoes, you got a shoe garage right here built into that, super nice. Now you might be asking me, Chris, why isn't there a safe back there? That's a good question. Let's get back to that. Right underneath me, you'll see is going to be my engine access. Now, getting up in the morning in Colorado, it can get rather cold. I don't want to be walking around with my bare foot and coming over here to the bathroom to sit down, take care of my morning business, and have cold toes. So I have a 3-zone floor electric heater. This is going to be heated, guys. That's heated. So I'm not going to have to worry about freezing my little toes and waking up a little bit quicker than I really wanted to. So taking just an overview of this, I got this luxury mirror with interior lights. It just looks so good. It really gives you the right lighting on your face. So ladies, if you're doing your makeup, great spot to do it. For me, like this morning, I got my double-edged safety razor, put that in my soap, hit that on there, and got a nice shave. So I don't have this at my house. I wish I did, but that would be perfect for it. These beautiful artisan sinks. We've got 2 of them, so for you and your partner, easy to keep that from draining, and they just have such a beautiful modern look to it. All real tile throughout the entire coach. You're going to have this high polished solid surface countertop with these nice luxurious bevels in that. Throughout the coach too, and I'm going to show you the big screen later, but I can access this new, brand new for 2026 ATC system. So what is it showing me right now? It's showing me my lights in this room. But if I come here, I can control just about everything that I want to on the coach. Another really cool thing, and I'll show you that. I'm not gonna spend too much time, but guess what? I can also do it right here because I've paired my phone to this coach, and I can, inside or outside, I can control so many different things on this coach. Now, right next to that, it's gonna be a nice 1, 2, 3 shelf area for anything that you need in your bathroom with a electrical outlet right there. So if you want to have a curling iron, or maybe you're not like me and you want an electric shaver, you want that charging in there, you can take care of all that without having everything messed up. Beautiful backsplash here. Another 2 more outlets right here. And then here I've got, these are all nice and lit. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 drawers. They're all soft close if you get them to the right spot, and then all nice and lit. So I do have courtesy lights here. Forgot to turn them on. Sorry about that, guys. Right above here, I've got a nice place for that hand towel, and that's going to be on each side, so you don't have to use your partner's. You can use your own. Here I've got 2 more places for towels, and then this is what I like to call the honeymooner shower. And what's so good about this, you could easily fit, like my wife and I could fit in here real easily. Got that nice rain head shower right here. And then I can also use this, and then I can get all the from under bits from here. Now, this has a nice teak seat, so you can sit right here. Ladies, if you want to shave your legs, or fellas, or anyone, if you just want to have that nice luxurious hot water hitting you after a long day, perfect. We also opt for the nice safety handles in these. This is fully tiled. This is real tile, real grout throughout, even down here, and we got this really awesome drain. So just absolute luxury everywhere you're looking. This is going to be my aquamizer. So I've got the light on. If you put this in recirculate, Don't do this when you're camping and you're plugged in. This is for dry camping. You recirculate that. It is going to take the water out of your potable water tank, put it through the Oasis heater, bring it through here. When that light turns red, you know this is going to be nice and toasty for you. I have your body wash, conditioner, and shampoo loaded right there. You don't have to worry about that. Got a couple extra places to store other things. Coming out, and this is, by the way, this is real glass. And then before you travel, you lock it right over here. I have a washer and dryer, stackable, with nice little place to put your dryer sheets, your pods, anything like that that you want to do that. Now, every single one of these doors and drawers are all going to be that real hardwood maple. So really nice, vented, so it doesn't build up too much humidity. And if you had to work on it or do your winterization, you can open this and you can access what you need to back there. So Newmar's tagline is when you know the difference. And last but not least, I want you all to give a nice hand to Jody, my cameraman. So you have a full length mirror right there, so you can just see how gorgeous you are before you go out there and hit those trails. All right, so if you'd like to come and join me in this bedroom, see this nice king size bed right here. Both of these are going to be identical, so I'm just going to open this side. But right here I've got 110 outlet back there. Every single thing, if it's a horizontal surface, just about throughout the entirety of the coach, whether you're in the bathroom, in that medicine cabinet right here, you can have this nice carpet lined. It's going to minimize noises when you're traveling and also give it a little bit more grip so things don't slide around as much. And then here I have the other part of this, and there is a little spot down there that if you had a breathing device or just some cords that you wanted to bring down, it'll come down right through here. Now, laying on this nice comfortable bed, I also have under here one of those panels that you saw in the bathroom. So if you just had a long night and you just, man, I forgot to turn on the security lights, or you hear someone outside or some bears coming at you, right? You can just hit those security lights on and just let them know, hey, this ain't the right place to be. So gorgeous, gorgeous pillows right here, a nice padded bed part right there. I've got blackout curtains and my day curtains. So right now I've just got the day shades here. What's really neat about this, guys, let's say my daughter just went down to the Keys, caught a huge king, a bunch of mahi-mahi, so proud of her. If you're taking this down on Key West, you probably want to smell that beautiful salt air, right? You want to hear those waves coming in. You can still have everything else going, but you can crack those windows open and, man, just live the life that you've always wanted to. You've worked hard for what you got. Enjoy what you have and do it in a Newmar London Aire. Now, this is a big king mattress right here, very comfortable. Lots of storage space down here. So I've got my two table leaves right here, plus two chairs that you can bring out if you're entertaining guests. This is going to be super hard built base, big pneumatics right there, and this opens and shuts. If you're a hunter, or you can put some long guns in. There's a lot of the things that you could store in this right here. And then this is nice and padded right here. So if you were to have this open, it's not going to hurt as much when you clip that shin on there. If you own this for 10, 20 years, probably going to figure out a way to do that once or twice. On each side, I've got a 110 outlet with USB-A and USB-C down there. And there's a little piece in there so I can actually plug my phone charger in there, or just my phone cord into the appropriate USB device, shut that, have that coming out, and have my phone sitting right there. Now my phone monitors my sleep along with my watch, so it can monitor all that from right there. So take a quick look up here. All of my HVAC, and I've got three 15,000 BTU heat pump air conditioners on here. And what's really neat, it's coming right down the center of the coach. So when these slides are in, and if you're in Phoenix right now, like my friend Taylor's going to right now for a bachelorette party, she did a great video on a London Aire last week. So kudos to her. So anyway, if these are all shut and you're going down to Phoenix, it's 117 degrees right now, folks. So this right here is going to let the air conditioner come down, and it's going to give you a nice convection current. It's not going to be cooling or heating the tops of your slides. On this side right here, this is kind of cool for this floor plan. I've got this nice window here, and I got this nice window here. And then ladies, if you wanna, you could also sit here and do your makeup. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deep drawers. You can store so much in there, and every drawer that you're looking at is gonna have that nice dovetail finish and soft closed drawers. So you've got 6 there, nice and deep. I'll open one more here so you see that, and then now look at this. This comes out just as far, but I've got a lot less. So this is gonna be a nice drawer for your panties, your boxers, your socks, whatever it is that you need to, and you can just store it right there. I also have my AV closet right here. So you can use this for storage, but let's say if you're like me and you got that Starlink right there, you can actually hook up an NVIDIA Shield Pro, or maybe you have an Apple TV or some other Fire Stick device. You can hook it up right there and watch your TV. So every television in here, except for one, is a 43-inch television, and that's gonna have Samsung 4K ultra high definition. So, talked about that safe, right? Check this out. Now that's a strong magnet. The force is strong with that one. I can put this however I want to if I'm watching it in bed, but I've got 3 hidden places. So right here, I've got a little shelf right here that's adjustable, but guess what, guys and gals? I've got my safe right there. So you could store personal carry 9mm or other things in there, maybe your Rolexes, maybe your jewelry, store it right there, and then pop that back. There's not a safe in the world that someone can't break into, but they gotta know it's there first. Right behind this window is going to be one of those nice window awnings that we talked about. And then as we're leaving, I also have this heavy duty door. So maybe you didn't feel like making your bed that day. Maybe your partner's taking a little bit more shut-eye, and you're out here making coffee. You can go ahead and shut that. It's going to help block some of that sound and light. Coming over here, this is going to be my half bath. And again, look at this. I got this really nice, luxurious, and modern mirror right here with the lights, and then I have 3 shelves in here, and you'll see I've got that nice carpeting on it. Again, that same modern sink system. This is an undermount bowl that's just perfectly matched to this real tile back here. I have that same nice window. I got the day shade and the night shade. My electronics are going to be right behind me, so here is going to be all of my let's see if I can do this while I'm sitting. Oh my god, sorry. So I've got my circuit breakers here, and then I also have my inverter circuit breakers, and then I have all my fuses right here. So very easy to access that. Got some storage here, some storage here, and some more storage here. Now we talked about that road vac. This is where you'd hook up that tool, and this is where if you wanted to sweep some stuff in, just sweep it into your automatic dustpan. And as you would know, I'm sitting on a porcelain macerator toilet that I can operate right here, an additional place to store hand towel. Now if you're sitting in here, I also have one of those KIB devices right here, so I can access my coach controls, or most of them. Speaking of that, this is brand new for 2026, and we're really excited, guys. So I can see my chassis and my house voltage right here, my tanks, everything is just so clear and concise for what I need. You can see my tank, if my fresh water is going to be blue, my gray is literally going to show up gray, my black is going to show up black. So it's actually color coded and labeled. I can turn my water pump, put in autofill or top off. That's my home screen right here. I can go down to my climate control. I can turn my Oasis burner on, which is going to be the diesel part. I can turn element 1 or element 1 and 2 on. I can also have that working in the bathroom or not. It gets really hot in there, so maybe you just run that for a few minutes. You can also control it while you're sitting there on the commode. I can set this in eco mode. I can sync all my zones. And then right now everything's in cool and the fan's on auto. So I can control each particular location. And then I can also look at my statuses right here. Shades, I can do all coach day, all coach night, and it does that. I can do each individual room as well. Fans, I got 3 fans in here, and so I can turn them on high, medium, or low. If you want to use a rain override, you can do that as well. Floor heat, 3 different settings, high, medium, or low. And I was looking at the instructions, and this basically high just cycles it on for longer, and then it turns it off for shorter. Power, I can see where all my power is right here. Turn my block heater, my inverter on or off. I can look at my systems right here, see what's I'm having draw power. I can look at my solar and my generator and see what my generator is doing right now. So over here, exterior lights, I can turn those on and off. And then another really neat thing, because we used to have the Silverleaf system, trying to hit all your lights on in a coach, man, as a salesperson and someone who loves lighting, it took like probably 20 to 25 clicks back and forth, different rooms. Now I can go to hit them all on, and then I can go to each particular room and just go on. Kitchen, all on. Bedroom, all on, and it does all of them at once. Now maybe I want the ceiling to actually dim a little bit, set the mood. I can do that. I can do that in each individual room or also with each individual light. So it's a really, really awesome system. I'm so glad Newmar did this. It's very easy to use, and there's some people who get intimidated with that Silverleaf. Man, I was an IT director, network engineer back in the early part of my career. It was even a little intimidating for me, so this is a lot easier. We're gonna start my favorite area. It's gonna be the kitchen. I ain't gonna spend too much time, because I know it's getting late in the day, but thank you guys for being with me. With these right here, these don't just pull out. You have to push them in, then pull them out. Dovetail construction, real wood all the way around. And these are the ultra wide full slide pullouts. So I can get a can all the way back here, very easy. These are also adjustable, so I can adjust the height mechanism on these. I could also just take one of them out completely if I wanted like one extra really tall one. Now down here, these are all adjustable as well, so you can take them out, you can move them, and so maybe you want to put a rice cooker or something in there, you can go ahead and store that right there. And here, I think I'm at a 19.3, 19.7 cubic foot Whirlpool refrigerator. It's gonna have an extra water filter on it and an air filter. So when you wanna have that really crystal clear water, or you wanna make sure that your scotch or bourbon just doesn't have too many minerals, you're gonna be able to do it with that. And so, a bunch of shelves in there, lots of it's adjustable. I can get my water right out here, and I can adjust temperatures out here as well. And then my ice is going to come in right here. Extra drawer here, more drawers there. Nice residential style. And then when I'm going to be traveling, I just set that, and that's going to lock that in place, so you don't have everything in your refrigerator coming out. This should be on your pre-flight checklist. Coming over here, another one of these panels. So I've got one here, and then I'll have one over there. I'll show you in a minute. Look at all the storage space here. So talked about that leather. Newmar is actually giving you a nice leather cleaner with it, so you don't have to buy any of your extra stuff. Slide out here, and they've kind of changed their manuals a little bit, so it's pretty cool what they've got going, man. But the thing is that if you go on to Noogle, create an account, it's going to have all your manuals online, schematics, everything that you need. That walkthrough video I talked to you about that I watched earlier, all that. So if you forget how to do something, just go to that part of the video. It's hosted on Vimeo, and you can watch it right there, either through the Noogle site or the link to Vimeo. These are adjustable. Let's look at the storage here. So another one here, little sponge tray right here. We did learn that these are good to put something there so that it doesn't rattle. Because the longer they are, the more chance you get that vibration. And then right here, I have 2 sliding trays. So one's for your trash can. You could put a recycling there, or maybe just some extra trash bags, and then whatever you want to put here. And then right over here is the spot that you can take these off and store them in there if you don't want to use them. But let's look at what we got going here. So I've got this massive Blanco sink. And this right here is got a slight texture to it, so it's not going to show dirt too much. And then it just looks so nice. It's perfectly matched with this nice modern system right here. And then you get your hot and cold water. I've got spray and flow function on this, so it's pretty sweet. And then when you're not washing dishes, I mean, that's so beautiful, you could leave that open. But if you need some extra counter space, you got it. And look how deep the counter space goes back, and we got that big bad mamma jamma window right there. So really cool. Before I get here, just want to show you the rest of the storage. Adjustable shelves right here. Get a little bit in there, not a whole lot, guys. And then these are their new Whirlpool microwaves. So you've got air fry, grill, microwave features right here. And then, I mean, if you really want to be fancy, you can just push that and that'll open it for you. I'm not that fancy, guys. I'm just pulling that bad boy. So I've got my air fryer right here, my grill right here. And so you can do all that stuff. Pretty cool system. Induction cooktop. You guys know I love the induction cooktops. On each side of this, you're going to have a cutting board, so you can you and your partner can cut. You can also take this out. So if you're going like me, I like to go trout fishing. My wife don't want me to smell this up with trout. I'll guarantee you that. She's a vegetarian. So I'll just take that outside and cook that trout right out there. It just plugs into one of the 110s that I have in the base. And so here, check this bad boy out. I get even more counter space. And so my wife's not quite as tall as I am, so this would be a perfect area for her to stand right here and cut her vegetables, where I could be cutting the vegetables over there. So, and then these right here, nice drawers. So drawers are a little thinner than what you got here, but that is to provide symmetry for the overall area. And you see that when that's put in there, it actually blends in really nicely. I've got this nice piece right here. So we've got a ton of remotes. So one for every television. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 televisions here, all Samsung. I've got the nice Bose sound bars right here. This is a universal one, so you universal control all your stuff. Now this right here is designed so you can pull these out and change your filters on here. When you get used to it, you can change these filters for the entire coach in about 5 minutes. This is your flagpole bracket, various paints right here. So, and then all those paints are gonna have a number associated with that. So if you need to order some, we got you. Oh, thank you, Jody. I forgot to mention we have a Fisher Paykel dishwasher in a drawer. These are very, very water efficient. Matter of fact, some of y'all aren't into using these, so you could use this as storage, but I'm going to tell you, being a former cook in the Navy, it's really good to use these. Now, if you just do your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, instead of washing them in there, if you want to conserve water and have good sanitation, you can put them in there throughout the day and then go ahead and run that once at night. And you're going to actually save water and have nice and clean dishes. So you can put stemware, it's very adjustable, all that stuff in there. Now, we talked a little bit about this Euroboot dinette. That's where those table leaves go. So it comes out about that far because you bring it out all the way and then you push it in to lock it. And then those 2 folding chairs right here, both of these open. So this is gonna be identical to that. So I'll just open this one right here. But look at this, that is that nice Italian leather, baby. These are very, very comfortable. You can sit with your back against that, kind of in that chase lounge configuration. So if you're here, you've got a TV up front, you've also got a TV over there, so you could choose which way to sit right there. So very comfortable, lots of storage space above us. Every hinge that you've seen throughout this entire coach is gonna have hidden hinges. Got these nice wall sconces, big, beautiful windows right here, dual pane. But man, I gotta show you this. So I'm gonna sit down on some nice furniture. So I've got a USB charging station. These are lit cup holders, so I can have my beer in there, have my cup of scotch in there, and I can pop this out and get that TV lift up over there. So now we got that nice 50-inch Samsung ultra high definition television. I can be streaming on that. It is super, super nice. Now, I like things a little cooler than my wife does, so we've got a nice little solution for that. I can keep this coach cooler. Of course, I'm gonna have my universal remote in there, but right under there, she's gonna have a blanket, because you can only take off so many clothes and before you can't get any cooler, but you can put a blanket on. And so That's how I won that argument. So anyway, come on over here. This is a tri-fold sofa sleeper. We've probably seen a tri-fold sofa sleeper. If you haven't, give me a call. My number was at the beginning, it'll be at the end. So you can actually, I'll set that up on a video specifically for you. Now I've got the Bose 700 soundbar with a subwoofer. So guys, you're gonna get that theater experience in here. It's gonna be really nice. I've got some storage here. Talked about that AV closet. I got an AV closet here too, audio visual. And then nice soft closed doors. So there you go. And again, throughout this coach, by every sitting area, I'm going to have a USB-A, USB-C, and a 110 outlet throughout. So you got one there, I've got one there. I've actually got some over there, and then I got one here. Got some on the other side. I'm not going to bore you with all that because we're kind of getting late on time. So what I want to show you here is this amazing Freightliner custom chassis. So if we're looking right here, I'm going to have my Excite dash. So I've got two, I think it's 11-inch monitors right here that are combined, and I can just see everything so nicely with that. Now I can hit my main menu right here, and it's going to show me all the different options I have. Of course, this is Sirius XM capable. I can bring my own music with me, radio, navigation. So here is my navigation screen right here. Now I want to point out to the right before I forget, I actually have another display over there. So that's going to show my cameras. So if I'm making a right turn, I've got those 3 blind spot monitorings on that right side. But if my wife sees something that I don't, maybe a stop sign that I didn't, well, hopefully I saw a stop sign, but if she sees something, she can actually point that out to me. She can also choose the navigation screen on that. So if I say, baby, I'm getting low on fuel, can you navigate us to the next fuel stop? She can go ahead and do that right over there on that. Very easy to adjust all that. Now back to my Excite dash right here. I've got my camera settings right here. So if I've got the trailer camera set up, I could access them right there. So remember I mentioned it's all integrated. I can see all the way around the coach. I've got that top view. It's not looking so great right now because I've got slides out. You're not driving the slides out. I know you're not doing that. Now if I want to just look at that back, I have 3 different viewing angles. So I can see really tight, more of a wider view, and then I can see that about 2.5 lanes on each side of me. So when you're driving, you can check that out. And then if you're pulling up to something and you don't want to hit something in front of you, you can actually just focus on that. So really cool setup right here. I can adjust my shades and my visors, generators right here, courtesy lights. Now let's make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh yeah, you have your tag dump. For the most part, you're going to keep that in auto because it's going to take care of it for you. But if you really got to make a tight turn like in a parking lot or something, you can dump that so you don't have any issues. That Ultra Steer is going to have a 12-degree wheel cut. The front wheels here I think have a 52-degree wheel cut. And then if you have to boost, give yourself a jump, I can give the house battery a jump or the chassis battery a jump. Kind of hold that for about 30 seconds and then it's going to give you what you need. Let me turn this air down so it's not overwhelming the mic. I'm not sure if it is. So over here, actually, let's come all the way over to the left. So if you see this right here, it's going to be my home screen. I can actually level this. So I can do an auto leveling, and this is just using my air system. So it's auto leveling. I can manual it. So maybe I want a little bit more room in the rear because I'm going up a very steep driveway. I can actually get a couple inches right there. Now for my travel, I can actually do a low ride or a high ride. So if you want to get under that extra garage door, you can actually use this to adjust and get a couple more inches on that. My HWH computerized leveling system is right here. This can be your main leveling system, so you're going to use this once you're at the site, and then you can go ahead and auto level that. You can also do manual options as well. Dump everything and auto store. Very simple. Heated mirrors. I can adjust the top mirrors on both sides by just clicking left or right and adjust that. I've got my ATC override, so automatic traction control, so I can override that if I want. I think it works for 15 minutes and and then it reverts back to it. I can open that toll window right there. Speaking of toll windows, we do have the universal toll module optioned on this. Now I have my city horn. Avon, get ready, you're gonna hear a horn. The city, and then I have my air horn. So you get kind of like that dual. I've got auxiliary here, USB-A, USB-C, and then my phone charger is gonna be right here, so I actually can have that charging while it's looking at me. Isn't that cool? Dome light right here, my fog lights. So if I turn these on, I have my fog lights and I have my intelligent high beams on. And this is gonna be my Kurt Spectrum brake controller. So we have optioned that in for you. The stock right here is gonna be my Allison 4000 6-speed transmission. So I have my drive, neutral, reverse. I can do manual. So if I want to do manual, then I can put that in manual, then I can use the stock to shift gears. I also have a 3-stage engine compression brake right here. So this is going to be an off, low, medium, and high. And you can actually see on this nice, huge dash right here, I can see that is in high mode. It's a 12-inch screen right there, so it's pretty cool, but I can see where that is. So let's talk a little bit about this. Everything's easy to see. I can see I have my intelligent high beams on. Now my collision mitigation is not on because you got to be going 15 miles at least for that to be working. And then it's going to be my lane departure assist. I can see my my air pressure right here, my oil pressure, my engine pressure or engine heat, and then I can see my RPMs, fuel, speed, and my def. Now I can access all of this stuff and change my gauges. If I want to optimize this, if I want to see different gauges, I can do that. Steering effort, I can do that right here, and I can set that steering effort right here. So the more, that means more effort to take. So a lot of people, I just say start in that 5, but they'll end up down here. It's just a lot easier to turn that. And this will reset. So if I'm backing up and then I want to go forward, I just put it back in drive, and this will just reset back to 0 for me. So it's a really nice system. Fuel economy, I can see that. I can set my Mobileye right here. Headway warning distance, intelligent high beams, lane departure warning. You can turn all of these on or off or adjust the sensitivity of them. Road watch, again, we talked about that. Cruise control, I can set where that, how much distance I want between me and the next person. We have it set max for you, just to keep you extra safe. Tire pressure right here, I can see all my tire pressure on that. Each TPMS is showing up. I can also set that as well. Trip indicators 1 and 2, you can do diagnostics, etc. So I can do all of that right here, very easy. And then I can also cycle through that. So if I just push that, it's going to go to that last one I had. And then here I can access my phone. So once my phone is linked to here, I can initiate a call, I can end a call, I can set my cruise control right here, that adaptive cruise we talked about, resume and set. I can also get this to go in a higher RPM mode to let it cycle faster. If I want to hit my courtesy lights, I can push that. So if I'm letting somebody over and then they're over, or they do that for me, you can just hit those lights like you see those truckers do. Lets them know that you're safe and a thank you. Right here I've got all my dash AC controls, and then I've got like either a place for your some of your exterior remotes, your snacks, or whatever else that you need. So, and then this right here is full telescope and tilt on that, so that's pretty cool. And then let me just make sure I got the park brake is on and I am in neutral. So, and then also I can adjust my pedals as well. So, all right, these seats are heated and cooled, and both of these turn around and become part of your experience. So I think I covered everything. Thank you for being with me today. They have four new Merlin solar panels on top. They're 120 watts each. You get 20% more efficiency out of them. And I think that's it. We got it. So thank you again for joining me. My name is Chris Capper. We're at Transwest Truck Trailer RV. You can reach me at 813-333-2988 about this Newmar London Aire 4551 or anything else that we got. Thank you so much. Happy camping.